All right, so last time we had stopped with this concatenating operator. I hope this slide was clear to everyone that you are just joining or connecting the various parts which are to be required on your phone number to be put in this format. So we use this vertical bars or exclamation to put this special signs with space and their arguments like area, which are the existing columns, together so that you get this phone number in this form. All right. Okay. So moving ahead, now we'll understand another functions with the help of this business scenario. Now this business scenario is all about data cleanup. So it's telling that Internet Sales Group accidentally used the wrong data files for the Orient Star catalog website. So whenever we are working on any of the data, every department has access of read and write to its own departmental related data for processing. Sorry. So by we are currently for Orient Star, we are working for sales department. Okay. So it's telling that Internet Sales Group accidentally used the wrong data files for the Orient Star catalog website. So it's Internet Sales people have accidentally used the catalog sale data of the website from Orient Star website's catalog data. And once they understood it was a wrong data which they were working, the changes were made, but the changes are still to be corrected. Okay. So what they are trying to tell is that this was the data which was manhandled and we have to do the corrections in this form. Now, what was the changes which those people accidentally did and again tried to correct it? So it's telling product ID column has the values of product ID, but they have given spaces at this point. Okay, so there is spaces in the values in between. And they are trying to tell you that wherever the word mittens is, it is actually a product name called Lucy Knit Mittens. Okay. So wherever there was a mitten, this Lucy has to be transformed to Lucky. All right. And this words should be in properties. Understood? And it's also trying to tell that in product ID, wherever there was Lucy, which was spell check to be done, in that case, or wherever there was written, in that case, this product ID at this place has to be replaced with the digit 5. All right. Look at the highlighted part, understand what changes has to be done. I'll give you some few seconds to observe the slide, then we'll move ahead. Hi Priyanka, am I audible to you? Yes, Priyanka.
Nothing.
Okay, no problem. All right. So we were just discussing about this new business scenario that you have to do the changes wherever the highlighted parts is in this output report. Okay. Moving ahead. So what will be the first step? It's telling for your data cleanup that the first step in creating the correct data set is to do the following. Find the observations with mitten as part of product value. Change the middle characters of product ID values for those observations. So as I said, wherever you have a mitten word in the column product related to its product ID, the value at this position. Now, what is this position? If you count it from left along with the space, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At ninth position, this value, which is digit 2, has to be replaced with 5. All right. So this is the very first step of cleanup which we'll have to work out. Now for that you are writing this statement. We are going to make use of two functions, substr and find function. Okay. So find is a function where you will be using into SAS, telling SAS that in your string, you have to search for a substring and you have to provide the modifiers with start position. So this is just the syntax. So how the syntax works, let's see. So always make a note that if a function find is used to find a specific substring in a string, default in the log, SAS always returns a value when it finds the substring within the string. It is always greater than 0. If it does not find that substring within the string, it will be 0. Okay. So greater than 0 or equal to 0. It's like a Boolean expression. If it finds the substring within your string, it will be greater than 0, the value for find function. Else it will be 0 if it does not find that particular value in your string. At this point, just understand this, what I said you, then we'll see it in more detail. So accordingly, they are writing the same thing in this data step, that if in your with your find function in your string, the substring is mitten and the modifier they have used is I is greater than 0, then substr in for your product ID at 9th position, one place is to be 5. Now understand here you are getting introduced to two functions. One is find and substr. But look at the substr. At what side of your equal to sign it's written? Yes, at what sign of your equal to sign it's written?
Left.
Left, correct. So if you remember when you people have got introduced to substr function, it was telling it's right because it was written to the right side of your equal to sign, correct? So now you are getting introduced to the left side of your substr function. Now how these two works, we'll see it in upcoming slide. You just understand this data step and understand this syntax. Fine. Now let's see ahead how it's telling about find function. So this find function searches a target string for a specified substring. So what is this? It returns a position. So it's telling starting position of the first occurrence of starting or of your substring within the string if substring is found. So it returns that within your data, if you have provided the substring is mitten, so it gives or it returns with the starting position where the mittens is been located within the substring. All right, that's what it's telling. And it's telling it has a Boolean expression. 0 is the value if the substring is not found. All right. Whereas here, what are these modifiers? So there are two modifiers, I and T. I indicates that your search for that particular substring is case insensitive. That means within your data, even if it is small m, okay, it should find it out and ignore its case. And what is T? It should ignore is trailing blanks. So just understand the syntax here and we'll see the explanation on your next slide. Understand the syntax, what they're trying to tell. Read it and you'll be able to follow. Just look into it.
In the current example, Ashwini, in the substring, why can't we take knit also instead of mittens?
Okay, we'll check it. All right. So let's move ahead. Right. Now just understand this find function. Now you have your text, which is a character value. You're writing or you're giving this character variable value. It's character, hence you put it into quotes. So it's telling in uppercase Australia, comma, space, Denmark, comma, space, US. Okay. So this is your text value. So what value does SAS assigned to position 1 if you write to find text comma US. Yes, so what do you think it will return the position for this US? What position it will return? Yes.
Australia
2.
is US.
2. Okay.
2.
Yes. So looking ahead, so its first occurrence within the text, it finds it's V as an analyst, we know it's US, but SAS knows it's just the text as U and S. So it returns the position where it's starting, it's finding this type of letters at this position. Got it now?
Okay.
Nilima,
Yes, yes.
Shanmuga.
So it's the starting position, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's what it was explaining here, the starting position of the first occurrence of substring within string, if substring is found. So it's a substring. SAS does not know its US word. SAS does not know it's a country name US. It just knows the letters US. Got it? So first occurrence in Australia, Denmark, US, you find it is at second position. All right, so it returns its position at 2. Now how it will be working in your second example? What position? Look at it very carefully.
With space it is, so it is the last US.
Absolutely. So it has a leading space which you have provided. So it will return this value at this position, which is at the position 20th.
Shouldn't be 21.
It's along with your space.
Oh, right. So it will count the space. Okay.
Yes. Because you have provided a leading space here. All right. Now look at this. What would be the value for position 3?
0.
0, yeah.
Absolutely.
Case.
Okay. Yes, because it's small case US, you do not have anywhere in your data value. But in case now you modify the same with I, what does I do? What is the I modifier?
Insensitive. Case insensitive.
Correct. So it will ignore your case, right? So in our example, you have provided small case US and you're asking the find should be case insensitive. So hence, what position it will return here now?
Again 2.
Yes, the first occurrence. So what is the first occurrence? 2. So this is how it is going to be working out. All right. Now, as per your syntax, if you have observed this syntax, it was telling modifiers. Either you can use modifiers, start positions. Okay. So now this is your syntax for the last position, position 5. It's telling find in your text, small case US, search or find should be case insensitive, position 10th. So it will not return the position at 2, but starting from the 10th position, it will start looking out for the US letters. So where is the 10th position? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from this position onwards, it will start looking for US and it will ignore this US. Got it? So
now
that is
it
what
will
this
be
start position is. So now it will return as
21.
21. Got it
Got
now?
it.
Yes. Swarupa, Shanmuga,
Yes.
Nilima.
Yes.
So in the position 2, in the pose 2, it was counting the blank at 20.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Because here, if you have observed this carefully, in your expression itself, in US, you have provided a leading space here. So along with space, this is the value for SAS. Space and US. Hence, it was taking at 20th place or 20th position, space and US. Understood, Priyanka?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So moving ahead, let's clean up. Okay. So that's what we have written in your data step with a condition. Why? Because we know mittens is not a product in every product, whichever you have in your data. It's only at a specific row or a specific observations. It has only mitten as a name as in the product. Hence, you are writing the condition if find for in your product column, the value is mitten, which is search should be case insensitive. Understand this is to be put into quotes because it's a character value. As per syntax, even this has to put into your I, which is case insensitive, modified into quotes, and you're giving it like this is always greater than 0. That means if this condition is true, that if it finds and you know the value is greater than 0, only then it should do this substr. Okay. So what is the substr? It's written to your left side of equal to sign. So when you're writing the substr to the left side of its equal to sign, it has a different function. It is not going to extract the value, but it's going to replace the value. Okay. So this form of substr function left to your assignment sign replaces characters in a character value. So example, replace 2 characters starting at position 11. So look at here. You have your value of column, suppose location Columbus, comma, space GA, space 43227. You are using substr function, which is written to the left side of your equal to sign. You're telling in location from 11th position, 2 places has to be replaced with OH. So it will be resulting in your location column this value. Got it now how substr left function is working? It's used for replacing your characters or character substrings from your data. All right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Priyanka, Swarupa, any doubts in this?
No.
No.
Okay. So as per our business requirement, we had written this data step. Hence, wherever there was mitten at 9th position, it replaces that 2 with 5. That's what it is here. So one task is done. Okay. So why, as per Nilima's question, we cannot use MIT? Anyone can just think of this logic.
MIT can be any other thing also, right? Like you can
Absolutely.
use it, but mitt can be the baseball mitts also.
Absolutely correct. Got it now, Nilima, because in your product, you may have the values like MIT or MIT with some other product name, which is not actually mitten. So in that case, it will do the replacement for all those MIT values, whichever you have in your data. So we are, as per your business requirement, it's not MIT, it's the word mitten. Got it now?
No, I was asking why can't we do the find the position of the word knit, KNIT, the middle word instead of mittens.
No, I did not get you. MIT is MIT, right? That's what he was telling.
No, my question.
Knit. No, they have said it is as per your business requirement. It's only
Okay.
telling that for product mittens. So
Okay,
it's Lucy knit. Yeah, tell me.
But we can still, it's our wish to check out which word to find the position and then do this replacement, right?
Try it out. Now this is a very small data. It's okay. But in your upcoming business requirement, if the data is huge and this knit might be, is it not, it might be not for Lucy knit. It might be the name, suppose maybe Mick knit. Then will you still change the product ID?
No.
Okay, got it. So in case in your huge table, you may have the value, suppose George net, whatever.
That is what, depending on the raw data we get, like once we just go through the data and it's our wish to decide which value to find, depending on that observation, we can do the replacement. It's our
Yes.
data cleanup
Yes,
is
you can just, yes, you can just try it, try and error. It's all about trial and checking out. But the understand what I'm trying to tell you. In your product, the name is Lucy Knit Mittens. So this Lucy Knit, mitten, maybe the word in your product upcoming would be mitten, would be knit, but the first word like Lucy, it would be George knit, it could be Michael knit. It could be marinette. So marinette mittens red, marinette mittens blue. So not every word wherever there is mitten has to be changed, correct?
Yeah.
It's only for a specific product like Lucy knit mitten red, blue, or it could be Lucy knit mitten black, white, whatever the product is.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is very specific. Though they have given mittens, but it might be specific to this earlier or trailing product name. So if you write knit, so that knit, K-N-I-T, would not be the same for every first name. Maybe. Okay. So if you want, you can just try it out. There's no harm. This is a classroom training. You can always try with an error, learn from it, and work it out. Okay. All right. Okay. So now what is the next step two of cleanup? That wherever there is Lucy, you have to convert it to Lucky. Okay. So in this case, what we'll be doing is, so the next step to change the error of spell check, which is Lucy to Lucky. So simply use transword. So this is the function which just replaces from your source a target with a replacement. So what is this? Source, target, replacement. And your source, you are telling it's along with trailing space. And that has to be replaced with lucky with along with trailing space. Why trailing space? Because in your data you have after Lucy a space, after Lucy a space. So you have to specify so that this value gets space in between. Otherwise it will be concatenated like Lucy knit. It won't have space. So it's better to give leading space, training space for your replacements. All right. So it's tran word. Simply we call it as transfer. But look at its syntax or its keyword, it's tran WRD. All right. So this is a simple way of replacing a specific word to your from your target, from your substring or your source with your target and your replacement. So what is this tranword function does? So this tranword function replaces or removes all occurrences of a given word or a pattern of characters within character string. So this details apply when you use this tranword function. It does not remove trailing blanks from target or replacement. Okay, it does not remove. So it's better we have to specify it along as a value if you want to give those spaces. And by default, whenever you use this function, your new variable takes the storage byte space as 200. But later on, you need to always adjust the length by using a length statement. So if the target string is not found in the source, then though no replacement occurs. So even if you write as a general statement, to create a new variable or an existing variable has to be changed. So it's not going to be affected on any other values where it's not able to find the target. Okay, so that's what now we'll write a correlative values upcoming data step. But before that, just understand what's your next scenario, that you have to make this into prop case and you have to remove the spaces between your product ID. So best way it's telling, what it's telling will be using a compress function to remove the embedded blanks, and we can use a prop case function to upcase or to use a prop case on your product. So this is what you are now moving ahead to finish up with the data step. So the existing product ID, you're using a function compress. So compress, what it does, it removes the all unwanted spaces from it, and this product column, you are using prop case, and you get the result to be prop case. Irrespective for other values, whichever in prop case, it won't affect, but wherever is required is doing prop case, and it's removing spaces from your product ID by simple compressing. Okay, so the compress function is source and characters. Now characters, like if you remember with prop case we were using which values are separating the words to be prop case. The same thing here, it's telling about characters. So what that character means, any characters which are separating the words in your data. So what is this? So look at here. Your earlier, or in this simple example, you have an ID value which has space and a specific value which has a hyphen, and you need to compress. So when you simply write compress ID without specifying any character values which should be removed, it will default remove the blanks. Hence, this is your new ID1. So it just removed the blanks. So this hyphen is still there. Now you are creating new ID2 where you are using compress on ID, and you are giving the character value which is separating your values in your original data. So it will return it like this. See, it's not at all taking blank here, but it is just removing the special sign and putting this in between values together. Now, if you want to include the spaces also, just specify space and hyphen. So it will compress like this. All right. Look at the slide. Very simple. It's self-explanatory, and we'll move ahead. Look at it.
In ID2 itself, why can't it compress blanks by default?
In ID2, we did not use it, right? Until and unless we did not use here, it's not taking it.
In ID1, it is compressing the blanks.
Yes, because here you are specifying it with character. So it's only looking for this now. It's not would be looking for blank.
Okay.
If you wouldn't have given special sign, then only blanks. But now you're specifying characters which are separating your words.
So when we are specifying, we have to specify both, right? Then
yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Ashwini, I have the same confusion as Neelama. In the ID number 1, even if it was compressing, it can do 2001, keep the hash and then put it 0050, leave a space and then put 024, right? Like it was doing in ID. But it compressed it completely and it did not do the same thing in new ID2, even though we gave it the space, right?
Yes, that's what Nilima was asking.
Yeah.
That until and unless you do not specify any character separating, default it will just work on the space. But when you're specifying a specific character, it's only focusing on this and not focusing on space.
If you want to specify all the characters.
That's what it's telling you now.
But when we specified all the characters, it took away all the characters. Whereas in new ID1 also, it took everything away.
So look at this new ID3. It's now working because you have given her space and hyphen. Now it's removing all the characters.
So it will remove whatever we put it there.
Yes. Until and unless you do not specify anything, by default it removes with your spaces. But in case if you specify on a specific character, then it will focus on that. All right, because it's compress. Compress means just put on the values or compress the values. So in case if you do not specify any special characters which is separating the words, by default space. But in case if you specify, then it will work only to remove that special characters. All right.
Yes.
So either which ways you use trim, strip, or combial. You can use any. Now that's just an introduction for some of the functions which are used to remove the blanks. So if you use trim function, it removes leading and it removes only trailing blanks from your character string. If you use strip function, it removes all leading and trailing blanks from your character string. But if you use this combial, it removes multiple blanks from a character string by translating each occurrence of 2 or more consecutive blanks into a single blank. So there are various functions. You can use any of it. So you're not restricted to use only compress. That's it.
Actually,
Okay,
can
so
you show that what is this? Combel.
Combiel,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are connected. Yes. So this was your demo D011 for lesson 5. So this is your example or your current scenario. So this is what we see now. Okay, so it got compressed. Let's move ahead and try with okay. So let's use compress or with compress com. So what is the syntax for it? Combiel and string removes multiple blanks from string by translating each occurrence of, it's like if you have two consecutive delimiters with a wide space, so it treats as single space. That's what it's just trying to do. So with Combiel, again, you are not specifying any hyphen here. Okay, so what you will see, yes, Swarupa. So see what has happened. So it's multiple spaces, so it's only single space. So this is not affecting here any which ways. So that's what it's telling. Anything, any note here, no note. Okay. So in case if we try to write data set, let's use text, which is suppose we get some value. Suppose the value is something. All right. It's not working here. So we'll have to check some other. Do we have anything in this? Removes multiple blanks from character string by translating each occurrence of two or more consecutive blanks into string. So it's
Yeah,
just
it's
treating it
working.
as a single blanks. No, it's
It's
just treating
working.
this multiple blanks as a single blank. So that's what you get. The result is a single blank. See, here you have two blanks, but here it's treating as, or it's only returning with single blank. Got it now?
Yes.
Okay, so here also in case I again give a white space. And here I'm not giving any white space, okay? Okay, meanwhile it comes, I hope you understood, like multiple blanks, it will convert it to single blank. Okay, so meanwhile this result comes, let's move with your exercise. So we'll be working with this exercise number 5, searching and replacing character values. So you can just read and you can work it out. So it's telling, as in the previous exercise, the data set Orion.customers underscore ex5 contains information about Orion Star customers. Customers who are frequent purchasers are targeted as silver, gold, or platinum, which appears at the beginning of your ID, customer ID. Okay, so if you see your original data, this is what it's telling. Those are premium customers or those are frequent customers. They give them this premium membership. And this is before this customer ID, you get this word. Okay, so what they're trying to tell you is, due to updates in how Orion Star designates your customer ID values, the existing values need to be modified. Any 4-digit string in customer ID should be replaced with hyphen 515 hyphen at the end in the output data set. So an example, what they're trying to tell is, due to updates in how Orion Star designates customer ID values, the existing values needs to be modified. Any 4-digit string in customer ID should be replaced by -15 in the output data set where it has this 00. So that's what it's telling. So wherever you have this words platinum, silver, gold. So wherever you have this, where it's -0 and -0 and hyphen, it has to be replaced with 15. Got it now? Okay. Then it's telling, create 3 data sets, silver, gold, platinum, depending on your customer ID, where it searches for silver, gold, platinum, and write to them to respective data sets. So you should get 17 observations in your data set, work.silver, 2 in work.gold, and 5 in work.platinum. Keep the variables ID, name, and country in all data sets. Print data set with appropriate titles. Confirm that any -0 this pattern is replaced with this pattern. So they have given you a hint. Make sure that you searches and not case sensitive, because those values are digits and not characters. So output, this is for silver, this is for gold. See, the place where there was -00, it's replaced with 15. This is your platinum. All right, now in this platinum, at this place, there is no 00. Hence, this did not get replaced. Got it now? Yes? Yes, people?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move ahead with this example or with this exercise. You can start working on it, even I'll start working simultaneously. Okay, before you people work, now look at our result output for your previous CompBL. So see here, it was white space between 01, 02, 02, 03, and I did not give any white space, only two spaces as a blank here. So see it, everything it's written to single space. Got it? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, Ashwini.
Yes, Ashwini.
So look at here. Your multiple spaces between the values is written to single spaces. All right. So we had provided white space between 01, 02, 03 and two spaces between 03 and 04. But the result which we get is single space in between every value. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, Ashwini.
Okay. Let's work with exercise.
You're not audible.
No, I was not speaking. Okay, so moving ahead, we have a next topic which is manipulating numeric values. But this will be taking it along with converting variable type, not today. Will do, because again, it will take, this should go hand in hand with your variable type. Okay, so I'm not going to take this with your current value topic. So we can either stop further D. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Yes.
Actually, if we
Yeah.
are going to close, can we just do the next challenge on the one we were doing? Like we did the 5th one. Can we do the 6th one also?
Sure, sure, sure. Every one of us can work on it.
Ashwini, can you hear me without noise?
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay. I'm done with this exercise.
Okay, so you can go ahead with challenge exercise, which is exercise number 6.
Okay.
It's not challenge, I think it's level 2, 6, searching character values and explicit output. So in this, it's telling you the data set orient.employee donations contains information about charity contributions from Orange Star employees. Each employee is allowed to list either one or two charities which are shown in your recipient's variable. So you have a recipient variable which has charities. Okay, so you can find same employee ID repeated, maybe doing donations for different charities. Okay, some charity names have a comma in them, remember. So what they're telling here is use explicit output to create a dataset work.split. The dataset has one observations for each combination of employee and charity to which he donates. Some employees make two contributions, therefore they have two observations in the output dataset. The employee contains a percent character in the value of recipient. So this is something which is the value as a part of recipient. Recipient, yes. Then it's telling here, store the position where the person character is found in a variable name PCT LOC. Okay, so wherever in this recipient you have a value which is coming as PCT LOC, it's telling store this position where this person character is found with this. This can make subsequent coding easier. So create a variable named charity with the name and person contribution of the appropriate charity. Read only the first 10 observations from your employee donations. Modify the program to read the entire data set and print only these columns. Let's work out.
Ashwini, we cannot see your screen, like SAS screen.
Now you can see.
And I wanted to ask you, like, what do you want us to do? Like, just separate the charity 1 from charity 2, right? If there are 2.
See, what they are telling is, use explicit output to create the dataset called split. The dataset has one observation for each combination. All right. Some employees made 2 contributions. Therefore, they have 2 observations in your output datasets. So employee contains person character in the value of your recipient. So there is a hint. It's telling store the position where this person character is found in a variable named PCT LOC. So if you want, let's look into this data employee donations.
So basically it's asking us to find that. So the find is the one we need to use.
Yes, yes. This is the employee donations recipient and see. This is the values.
Actually, are you writing anything on this? I can just see the employee donation page.
Yes, yes, I'm actually looking into the data carefully.
Because my question was if we will use a find in that, it does then do sub str.
So you have this is
Scan
twice. Yeah, scan is best. So you are doing it. This is also doing twice. Scan is also one of the options which you can use. All right, so this is how it is. I've used scan and find.
Ashwini, can you share the code?
Yes.
Ashwini, can you explain the code? I'm not getting it.
Yeah, the sub str part when you did the scanning and did that.
So it's very simple. See, first thing is we are finding the location for this person sign. Okay. So you know what find will, it will give you the position wherever in the recipient you have person sign, because on that person sign you will be later on splitting the values. Why? Because if you have observed your original table, in your recipient the same employee is contributing for 2 charities, so you have to give this as a single value for the same employee, and this should be put on the next line as the same employee with the next charity. That's what this result which we had seen is currently shown. Same employee, where we had a single line for multiple charities, now you have double lines for that multiple charities. Correct? So this employee is contributing twice for 2 different charities, hence you split it. Same goes for this employee, same goes for this employee. So we have to do this step. So hence, first and foremost, we are finding the location for person sign. So within wherever it locates, so first occurrence, it will locate here. Correct? So looking into this, let's use that if it finds its value is greater than 0, then we are creating a variable charity where in your recipient column, starting or in your while scanning, first word separated by person. So you are making this as a delimiter. So you are removing this value. Okay, getting it? Hence, this was the first thing you created a column charity. Hence, the result was first value from that multiple charities. Understood, Swarupa?
Ashwini, you separated it in the scan, right?
Yeah.
And added the code.
I did not add anything else.
Also, right?
I've just used this as the separator, or this word should be scanned or removed, which is separated by this person sign. So within this output, I got this, because this is what first value is. That is what in the code we are writing. From recipient, separate the first word or remove the first word separated by percent sign. So if it removes this percent sign or it's used as a separator, the value will be scanned only till here, 90. Getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes.
Hence, to add this percent at the end, you use concatenating operation. Okay, so this is first value. Then you want to remove the second value or split this second value separated by comma. Correct? So what you do is, again the same column, because this is currently immediately written to output dataset because of your output statement. Now, of course, we have to use sub-str, because within your scan, in your recipient, you have to extract the second word, the same expression, which is separated by percent. Okay. So after removing this, you are using this as a string for sub-str. So you're using it as a string as a sub-str, and then you are concatenating it with percent, and you're using it should be the third word. Why third word? Because if you treat this with service with your scan, okay, so the scan is taking this as first word, this is as the second word, and at the third position it is taking as blank. So you're using this, that sub-str in your string, you are extracting the letters, correct? Hence, it's a third position. So you are getting this output and you are getting this new value. That's it. And else, if nowhere you have to, or nowhere you find this, that means you are going to trim your recipient with 100% charities, because it will be only single charity. So that person is going to contribute only for a single charity. Hence, you are trimming it with 100%. That's it. So wherever in your data it's a single charity, it should be concatenated with 100% sign. That's it. So if you see your original data set, see this. This is only single per charity. Hence it is 100%, okay, for this particular employee. Yes, employee 120660. So let me check your original data at operation number 8. See, there it was. This cancer cures. This disaster 15. 120660. See, got it?
Ashwini, the second charity, you're okay, you're scanning the second word, concatenating with person. And what is that number 3? I didn't get it.
This is at third position.
Third position.
Okay, you are concatenating it with this for this reason.
Sorry, I still didn't get what is the purpose of number 3, third position. We only have 2 words. Ashwini?
Yes.
I still didn't get the purpose of number 3.
Okay. 3 means, see, post your person sign. Okay. Of course, you have a blank there, but because your percent is your delimiter, we use concatenating with your person to your character string. So what that 3 indicates, it's like in your recipient, you are extracting the second word separated by your percent sign,
Yeah.
and you are concatenating again at percent, correct? So this is happening with Sobestia. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. So till here you are doing scanning. Okay.
Yes.
So scanning means,
and extracting. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's extracting, correct? Yeah. So you are extracting, and after extracting, it will concatenate with your person sign.
Okay.
So after concatenating your person sign, it's extracting. So this becomes your position or start position.
Start position, yeah.
Comma. What is 3?
Out.
As per your syntax?
3 is the start position, right?
Right. That's it.
Spelling was wrong.
Start position of what?
After your person sign. So it will treat as 3 words or as 3 letters what from your recipient.
Ashwini, even without the 3, it is giving the dollar
Same
sign.
thing. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I was asking.
It will give you same thing. It will give you same thing.
I was confused with that only.
No,
mean,
no, no. It will
the
still give you
purpose.
the same thing. It is just for a separate side. I use that 3 so that it moves the 3 positions. That's it. Even if you don't write that, it will give you the same thing. So even if I remove this, okay, and I execute it again, it is going to give me the same thing.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
All right.
Yes. And rest of the things, sir, we are just concatenating with.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Ashwini, yeah, I got this. Ashwini, I wanted to ask you one question in this. So, I was still figuring out the position thing, but I just tried doing scans into charity 1, charity 2, and see how the answers will look before like finally going into exercise. My charity 2 is giving me the answer with commas. Like, let me show you. So what I did was I was still figuring out this portion, how to use the recipient's portion. So I was just trying to see at least if I can separate them and then work on that portion. So when I did this, I just needed an output. I understand that now. My output had charity 2 with commas in them. And I do understand that the ones which was like not 100% are just giving me this. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So just because we used position, these commas were not there in the charities, right? Or would these commas still come?
Scroll to your left.
Oh, sorry.
Observe your recipient value carefully. Scroll. So your comma is separating the 2 charities, correct? So it's for see the value. Scroll up. Let's come to observation 1. So for this employee 120265, you have Midfield International 90%, one charity, comma, the second organization is Save the Baby Animals 10%. So when you are splitting this to create 2 different row or columns, okay, charity 1, charity 2, what you are getting is you are getting the second charity with its leading comma.
Yeah.
Now come to your code and see the instructions. Why it's coming with comma? Did you specify anything with it should ignore comma?
No, that's what I'm trying to ask. That in my case,
so with this you can specify another delimiter comma.
Right?
Try it out.
I was just thinking, why was it not coming in yours? That's why I was trying to ask that question. I know, like, your scenario is completely different. It's not. It's not giving
no comma.
But it's
now
not.
What has happened?
The name is half now.
Right. So look at your code. What is the actual instructions? Understand your code.
I gave it a blank also, actually. I have to remove the blank first. Let me see now. So, wait a minute. Run. That was because there was a blank. So I started reading the second word.
Let's check. Yeah, let's check.
Yeah. But now, because there was a comma in between this one, I did these things though I was getting wrong. That's why I wanted to ask. So now there is a comma here in disaster ink. So ink became the second one. And
that's why in SubSTR or with that scan, I had used that third word in my code.
3, that number.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. But you use 3 like in the end, right?
Right.
Okay, now let's see. Now what did I do?
You have to use sub-str, right, Priyanka?
Okay, so without sub-str, okay, that's not that
You
function.
need to give comma, right? When you give the, you need to give comma after percent.
It is there.
3.
Before 3.
Before 3, remove that comma within your scan.
I don't know something else. Wait, let me see your code. So you want me to give a comma here, right?
Right. And remove that comma in between, which you had given along with percent.
Like
Right.
that.
Try
Okay.
to
Do I
try
need
it
to do
out now.
sub-str here?
Try it out. Yeah, right. No, just try it out here.
Okay. No.
There was some syntax check.
Oh, do I need
Especially an arithmetic operator.
I need to put it inside the. No, I don't want a comma there, so I don't need to put it there, right? No.
You have to complete the parenthesis also, right?
Right.
But there is only one parenthesis which is started, so I should make one complete new parenthesis. I still have only one parenthesis to begin, right?
You can substring that.
So use substring only. Before scan, use substring.
In the charity
Before
too.
scan, use substring in charity too.
Before or after?
Before.
Okay, let's do before. Do you want me to write something here before?
Substring. Before this, write substring. Sub-str.
Yeah.
Now execute.
Thinking substring. Let's see. What are you going to do now? Yes, now they are right. So that's why we have to use substr. Only scan cannot do the
Absolutely.
second part. Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Okay. So we'll stop our day. Shanmuga, I hope you was able to work with the same code.
Yes, Ashwini. I got it.
Fine. Swarupa, is your doubts clear?
Yeah, but it's really difficult. It was really difficult.
No, look into the code, try it out, work it out. It's just a logic which you have to apply and you'll be able to follow it. Don't worry.
So this was very confusing because you needed to separate it out and then you are doing
Right.
5 different functions in one line basically. You have sub-str, you have scan, you had like to add them together.
Right.
And then you have a new variable and then you needed to output it into the same, which I was not doing just to know my answer at least is right first or not. And then think about the position. So there was like 6 things going in one line. It was like
right.
We
That's
have to
what
remember that functions, each and every functions, right? That's also.
Right. All right. So that's a challenge for you now. And of course, it will come only when you practice and revise. All right.
Okay.
So with
Thank
this,
you,
we'll
Ashwini.
stop our day. Yes, thank you. Wish you good night. See you in our next class to resume with your numeric values and its respective functions. All right. So bye. Take care, people.
Thank you, Ashwini.
Yes. Bye.